Mama. I'll be talking to you today about my pregnancy, about how my pregnancy and my birth story, how it went with C-section after fibroid surgery. And also, I'll be talking to you about the acts I wish I knew. So, first of all, if you're just joining me today, I want to say welcome. And if you've been around with me for quite some time, I would like to say welcome back. Pregnancy and birth don't always go as planned, especially when you have had surgery before. And in my case, because of a fibroid surgery I have had years ago, and the vertical cuts from that procedure, my doctors told me from the beginning that I would be needing a C-section. And trust me, at first, that news that news was hard to accept. I had all this expectation about how my birth would go, but God had a different plan. Today, I want to share my pregnancy and birth story. The scripture that gave me peace, the practical acts I wish I knew, and now I recovered after a vertical C-section. And let me tell you this, Mama, I will end it with some encouragement just for you. And if you want my daily support, don't forget you can grab my free 14-day faith and postpartum plan in the description below. So now let's go back to my story. My story is not the typical one you see on social media because of my previous myomectomy. The fibroid surgery I had, my doctors explained that I couldn't reach a natural birth. So the vertical cut on my uterus meant a C-section was the safest choice for me and my baby. At first, I struggled with guilt. I thought, why can't I just deliver like other moms? Did my body fail me? But God reminded me this was not failure, this was provision. That fibroid surgery opened the door to me even becoming a mom. And this C-section was the door to bringing my baby into the world safely. The moment I heard my baby's cry in the operating room, tears rolled down my face. Not because it was the story I imagined, but because it was the story God wrote for me. In the book of Psalm chapter 139 verse 14, it came alive to me in that moment. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Even with scars, even with fear, God was still faithful. And some scripture that gave me peace. Anxiety was very real for me leading up to surgery. I sat in that hospital bed. My mind was racing with what ifs. What if something went wrong? What if my healing took forever? I'm sure, Mama, this is very relatable. I'm very sure of this. And that is when I leaned on scripture. I leaned on the book of Psalm chapter 139, verse 13, verse 14. It reminded me that God was the one forming my child in my womb. Even though surgery, He was in control. And also the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. It kept me grounded. Bible says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Instead of rehearsing my worries, I started adding everything to God one by one. And most of my words, my prayer words are, Lord, protect me. Lord, guide the doctors. Lord, keep my baby safe. And while my situation didn't change, I still had surgery. My heart changed. I walked into that operating room carrying His word and His peace. So now, let me tell you about the practical acts that I wish I knew. When it came to packing for the hospital, I went really overboard. I thought I needed everything, but most of what I packed never left the bag. So number one ask is the disposable panties and pads. I got a pack from Sam's Club and they were lifesavers. After my surgery, Most of the time, people feel like, oh, they can pack everything. Based on my experience, I have come to realize that comfort matters. It matters more than anything, and those paired with extra absorbent pads were not negotiable. And the next one is the matching outfit. This one was more emotional than practical for me, but it meant so much. Wearing matching outfit with my baby, even while I was ailing and so some people said I am menstrual. Oh. Well, truth be told, it gave me a moment of joy. It reminded me that motherhood wasn't just about pain, it was also about celebration. Another thing is choosing comfort over everything. I forget the extras. What I really needed were soft clothes, warm socks, and even my pillow from home. Healing, not some Instagram aesthetics, should be the priority. So, Mama, when you're packing, pack for healing, pack for comfort, pack for those little joyful moments you will treasure forever. And another one is the C-section recovery that I would like to talk about. Recovery with vertical C-section was no joke. It was no joke. The pain was intense and the healing took longer than I even expected. There was a particular night, I remember trying to sit up one night to feed my baby, and it felt like my whole body was tearing apart. I cried. I cried. And not just from the pain, but from the guilt of needing someone else to help me. But here is the truth: needing help is not weakness, it is wisdom. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9 reminded me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Here is what helped me most. Move slowly, but often. Gentle works helped. It helped me. It helped my body heal. Another thing I realized is support your cut. I kept a pillow on hand to press against my stomach when I laughed, when I coughed, or when I stood up. And also, Mama, I try to accept help. Letting others do laundry, cook meals, or all the baby gave me peace. It gave me some space to heal. Also, yes, I remember. And also, try to rest without guilt. My main assignment in that season was recovery, and that was enough. Now, when I see my scar, I do not see failure. I see victory. It's the mark of survivor. It's the mark of healing and God's provision for me. I can say this categorically that this is my testimony. And lastly, Mama, maybe your birth didn't look like what you imagined. Maybe it was surgery. Maybe it was complicated. Maybe it left scars you were not ready for. But your story is still beautiful. Your story is still valid. And your story is still a miracle. God does not waste anything, not even scars. Mama, please repeat this affirmation with me. I am strong. I am chosen. God equipped me for this season. Mama, if today's video encouraged you, download my free 14-day faith and postpartum plan below. It is filled with scriptures, affirmations, and acts that I'm very sure that will carry you through your first 2 weeks or through the postpartum session. And if you are ready for even more, my faith and postpartum survivor guide is a 30-day roadmap with daily scriptures affirmation and some printed checklists. It is available for just $9 and you can grab it instantly. Comment below and share what is your biggest worry of birth and recovery. I would love to pray with you and also encourage you personally. Thank you, Mama. Bye for now. Mama, here is my word of encouragement to you today. Maybe your birth story does not look like what you had imagined. Maybe it involves surgery, unexpected decisions, or scars you never thought you would have. But the truth is, your birth story is still valid. It's still beautiful and it's still a miracle. God doesn't make mistakes. That scar on your body is not anything to be ashamed of. It is a sign of survival and strength. And if you are feeling afraid of or overwhelmed right now, whisper this with me. I am strong. I am chosen. God equipped me for this season. And if today's video encourage you one way or the other, download my free 14-day faith and postpartum plan. Is in the description below. It is filled with scriptures, affirmation, and acts to carry you through those first weeks. And if you're ready for even more support, I have created the Faith and Postpartum Survivor Guide, a 30-day roadmap with daily scriptures, affirmations, and printable checklist. It is just $9. You can grab it instantly. Comment below and tell me what is the biggest worry about your birth or recovery. I would love to pray with you and encourage you personally. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.